Hey guys. So, over the course of the last few weeks, I've gotten several emails from people asking if I still had my Cricut Explore and if I was ever going to make videos for the Cricut Explore. Now, to answer those questions, or shortly or quickly as I can to answer those questions in a short manner, yes, I do still own my Cricut Explore and I have not been making videos. So, I will make videos, but I haven't been making them. So they're not on a different channel like some people thought or were under the impression that they were. So anyways, for today's project using my Cricut Explore, I'm going to do something really simple. And I'm sure this type of project will appeal to those of you who like to make party favors or Valentine's Day favors that don't involve candy. And also those of you who are looking for some easy beginner projects. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get started. A couple of days ago, I went to Target and I found these cute arrow pens in the one spot. And these would make great gifts for my fellow coworkers who are teachers. We all have an affinity for school supplies in any way we can get them. For some reason, we all like cute pens and pencils and erasers. Maybe that's why we became teachers. I don't know. But anyways, I really like these pens and I bought several of them for my coworkers, but I don't particularly care for the retail packaging. So I'm going to take a cue from the actual packaging itself and I'm going to create a little heart for the arrow to shoot through. So I'm going to go ahead and find a heart and scalloped heart image for me to use so that I can write a note or stamp Happy Valentine's Day depending on when I decide to give these out. So I'm going to go ahead to the right hand side of my screen and click on Insert Images. And I know that there is a heart image with a scallop on the Slumber Party cartridge. So I'm going to go ahead and type a Slumber Party and see if I can, ooh, hands are not on the right keys. I'm going to go ahead and type Slumber Party and see if I can get it to load this way. And if not, I'm going to use the Find Cartridge option. So at a glance, here I don't see it. So I'm going to go ahead and click on cartridges and I should be able to load the Slumber Party cartridge using this method. So here's the Slumber Party cartridge here, and this is actually the image I'm looking for. So I'm going to go ahead and click on View All 54 Images so that I can select that particular scalloped heart image and put it on my mat. So I'm going to go ahead and click it. So there's a check mark there, and then click Insert Images. And it's going to appear on my mat, and it's kind of small. So I'm going to go ahead and make it bigger so it's easier to see. And at first glance, I can tell there are several images here that I don't want to use. So if I go over to the right-hand side, I have a panel of layers here that are all set to cut, but I don't want all of these. So I'm going to select each layer and either delete or turn off the ones I don't want. So this is the front layer with the polka dots. I know I don't want that, so I'm going to go ahead and click delete. And this backer card is for it to actually be a square or a card. I know I don't want that either, so I'm going to select it, and I'm also going to click delete. Now, your other option, if you don't want to delete the shape, is to simply click on the eye and it will disappear. So, for example, this pink heart on the top, if I click this eyeball, you'll see it hasn't been deleted, but I just can't see it right now. But I need that pink heart, so I'm going to click the eye and put it back. So both of my images that I need are still here, but I want to be able to work with each one in isolation. So I'm going to right click and I'm going to go to ungroup. And now I can move the pink heart separate than the scalloped heart here. So this actually looks fine the way it is, and I could size this and cut it out, but I would prefer not to have these little stitching marks here. So while I have this image selected, and you can see it selected by this square around it, I'm going to click contour and it's going to turn a different color. So now I can select each one of these little marks that I don't want. And I'm going to click delete on my keyboard. So here you can see I have the white scalloped heart and I actually have the pink heart here. Now, if you end up in a situation where something disappears that you didn't expect to disappear, you can just go up here to the top menu and click undo to make something come back, or you can hit Command Z or Control Z on your keyboard, depending on if you're on a Mac or a PC. But anyways, these are the two images that I want to use. And I know that these need to be roughly 4 inches for my pen to fit through comfortably. So I'm going to draw a box around both of these images so that I can select both. And you can tell both are selected here in this palette on the right hand side because they're both now blue. And I'm going to take them and move this both up to the top right hand corner and size this so that it's a little smaller than 4.5. So right now it's at 4.25 and I'm happy with that number. So now I'm ready to cut. Now you can change the colors to match your project, but I generally don't do that. So I'm going to leave it as pink and white, even though in the final product you may not see a heart that is pink and white. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and click go, and a dialog menu is going to pop up, and I already have it set for 1 project, but I actually need it to be 4 because I'm going to give away 4 pens. So I'm going to click apply, and because I already know I'm going to use different color papers, I'm going to move each heart into the corners for both colors, both the background scalloped heart and the main image. And once I have these in the 4 corners, I can go ahead and click go to cut these out in my machine. So I'll cut these out and I'll show you what the assembly and final product looks like. I have my hearts, the back layer and the front layer, all cut out in several different colors. And some of these I'm going to stamp on, and others I'm just going to leave blank so that I can handwrite a sentiment or a message to the recipient. So for the ones that I'm going to stamp, I'm going to go over them using my embossing buddy or my little powder bag. This way the embossing powder I'm going to use in the future doesn't stick everywhere. And the stamp I'm using is from Hero Arts, and I don't know the name of the stamp set, but I will link it in the description box down below. And the ink I'm using is just some clear Versamark ink, which is a sticky ink that this embossing powder is going to stick to. Once I tap off all the extra powder, I'm going to set the sentiment or melt the embossing powder using my heat tool. And then I'm going to attach the layers of the hearts together using dimensional adhesive. So you can see here I actually layered 2 layers on top of each other just to give the heart some space, or create some space in between the 2 layers of the heart. And that way I can slide my pen on the inside after the 2 layers of the heart are attached together. So here's a quick look at the final product. Thanks for watching.